Flying a drone should feel effortless, but capturing cinematic shots with clarity and depth, that's a whole different story. You've probably heard the buzz around DJI's new Air 3S drone. Maybe you're wondering, is this the right drone for me? Or do I need another drone? But this drone changes things. This isn't just another mid-tier upgrade. This might be DJI's most strategic release yet. We're talking 2 cameras, LiDAR sensors, 45 minutes of flight time without breaking into the Mavic 3 price zone. If you're trying to level up your aerial video game without breaking into pro level pricing or budget, this might be the sweet spot that you've been waiting for. Let's break it down. Let's start off with the camera system. The wide-angle camera is a 24mm equivalent lens with a 50 megapixel 1-inch CMOS sensor. It has a fixed f1.9 aperture with an ISO range of 100 to 6400 on both photo and video. The telephoto lens is a 70mm equivalent lens or 3x zoom and also has a 48 megapixel 1-inch CMOS sensor. It has a fixed f2.8 aperture and still the same 100 to 6400 ISO range. It can shoot 4K 24 FPS all the way up to 120 FPS with a 10-bit D-Log color profile option as well as a normal 8-bit HDR option. For photos, you have your choice of JPEG or RAW for maximum flexibility. Maximum range is said to be about 20 kilometers or 12.4 miles, but I'll get into that more when I share my own experiences on the drone. It comes with a 4200 milliamp hour battery with a maximum flight time of 46 minutes, and top speeds up to about 47 miles an hour. The maximum altitude is said to be about 6,000 meters, but for no reason should you ever be going 6,000 meters because the FAA limits you to 400 meters unless you get clearance to do otherwise. There's also a really nice obstacle avoidance system with camera and LiDAR assisted sensing, which keeps you from running into anything. The Air 3S has 42 gigabytes of internal storage, but just keep in mind that it doesn't actually come with an external micro SD card, which is kind of weird, but it can take up to a 512 gigabyte micro SD card. The current weight comes in at 724 grams, and depending on the option that you go with, it can come with the RCN2 controller or the RC2 controller. As of right now, you can get this with the RCN2 controller for $1099, the RC2 controller for $1299, or if you get the Fly More combo, you get 2 additional batteries, a charging hub, a case, all for about $1549. The 2 drones that I've had the most experience with prior to flying this one are the Mini 3 Pro and the Mavic 3 Pro, so most of my experiences will reflect that. I really enjoyed flying this drone, and there's a lot that I'm quite impressed by. So much so that I decided to make a little cinematic piece. So before I get into my pros and cons list, enjoy this video that I made for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did making it. And in fact, everything that you just saw was completely ungraded footage shot straight out of the DJI Air 3S. That leads me on to my first pro for this drone, and that is image quality. I found this drone to be incredible. The lighting, the colors, everything about it was actually a very, very pleasant experience. The build quality is solid, it's very portable. The obstacle avoidance feels super reliable and not overwhelming at all. There are several times where I just wasn't sure if I was too close to a tree, and it did a very good job of avoiding that. I'm also pretty impressed with the level of dynamic range that I'm able to get from this drone, especially with that 3x telephoto lens. It just made the footage seem that much more engaging and powerful, and I'm really happy with it. Now, some of the downsides to this drone is because of the weight, it does come with some regulatory restrictions. It does fall under the Part 107, so you will need to get your FAA license to fly it. Another big con that I found, I believe, is the flight time. I think they advertise it as about 47 minutes, and I definitely did not get 47 minutes of flight time. It was probably closer to 32 to 38 minutes, so keep that in mind. You might want to buy an extra battery. Connection range is also nowhere near 12.4 miles. I don't know of a single person that has ever gotten 12.4 miles out of this. Oftentimes, I'm getting much closer to like 3 miles. I even had it drop off after 1 mile, but that was just because of the location that I was flying in. I had a lot of obstacle interference with my controller. If you're completely unobstructed, you have no trees, or it's just wide open space like you're flying in the desert or over a lake, you might get 6 miles, but at that point, I don't know if I would reliably trust that. In comparison to the Mavic 3 Pro, this comes in at about $1,000 less than the Mavic 3 Pro, and for what you get, I don't really see why you would choose the Mavic 3 Pro and spend the extra $1,000 over the Air 3S. They share so many of the same features that it's no competition. When I flew the Mavic 3 Pro a lot of the time, I don't think I ever really used the third camera with the 7x zoom. I just didn't really find too many use cases for it. Now, in comparison to the Mini 3 Pro, which is about $400 to $500, this is a huge upgrade in just about every way. You get more cameras of better quality, you get flight time, you get all of these safety sensors around it. I think if you're still using the Mini 3 Pro, this is absolutely worth the upgrade. So if you're coming from the Mini 3 Pro, this will feel like a serious level up. But if you're already flying a Mavic 3 Pro, I guess just stick with it. There's really not too much of a difference between the Air 3S and the Mavic 3 Pro from what I have found. And if you're debating between buying the Mavic 3 Pro or the Air 3S, save the money, buy the Air 3S. For me, this is the drone that I grab without even thinking twice. So is this the new go-to drone for 2025? I think it might just be. If you're on the fence, just drop a comment down below. Let's talk about it. And if you found this video helpful in any way, like and subscribe while you're down there. Thanks for watching.